You know, when we talk about food security, our minds usually jump to things like seeds, water, maybe the weather. But what about the very ground our food grows in? The soil itself. Today, we're going to look at an incredible piece of innovation that's aiming to rebuild that foundation, literally from the ground up, using something we have way too much of: waste. So, this is the big question, right? How can a nation actually achieve real, lasting food security? For a long time, the only answer seemed to be importing tons and tons of fertilizer. But that just creates this dependency that's, not just expensive, but it can be super unreliable. So, what if there was another way? A local, self sustaining way? And that brings us to our starting point, a massive challenge facing agriculture all across Africa: this heavy reliance on outside help. See, building a system where food production is actually powered by local resources, well, that's not just an ICE idea. It's become an absolute necessity. This quote from the company's founder, Mark Galswick, really puts it all in perspective. This isn't some abstract, far-off problem. We're talking about an immediate need to feed millions of people. And notice the keywords he uses: reliable and locally controlled. That's everything. Okay, so that's the problem laid out plain and simple. Now, let's get to the exciting part, the solution. We're going to dig into how one company, Easy Environmental Solutions, is tackling this challenge head-on with some seriously cool technology. So, the company is called Easy Environmental Solutions, and their whole mission is built around creating clean food, clean water, and clean energy. And the system they've developed, it could honestly be a game changer for the entire agricultural landscape. And this right here, this is their secret sauce, the EasyFEN system. Now listen, the words containerized and decentralized are absolutely crucial here. This isn't some massive centralized factory. It's a modular unit, basically a factory in a box, that you can drop exactly where it's needed most. It takes a local problem, all that organic waste, and turns it into a local solution. And this diagram just lays out the whole beautiful cycle. You take local green biomass and food waste, you feed it into the EasyFEN system, and out comes this stuff called Terreplenish fertilizer. That fertilizer then goes back into the soil, helps grow new food, and guess what? The whole cycle starts all over again. It's a perfect, self-sustaining loop. And hey, this isn't just a drawing on a slide. This is the actual hardware. You can see it's designed to be this self-contained, almost plug-and-play unit. And that modular design is exactly what makes it so easy to scale up and deploy pretty much anywhere you've got organic waste and farms that need fertilizer. So, what comes out of that impressive piece of machinery? This does. Terreplenish. This is the final product. It's a powerful liquid fertilizer that's just packed with microbes. And the cool thing is, it doesn't just feed the plant for one season. It actually helps heal and enrich the soil itself for the long term. All right, so you get the technology, right? It's pretty amazing. But now let's get to the really big news. The company just made a huge announcement that proves their model isn't just a cool idea in a lab. It is gaining serious real-world traction, and it's happening fast. So here's the headline: a brand new agreement to deploy a second EasyFEN system in Africa. This one's going to West Africa through a partnership with a major agribusiness there. And remember, this is hot on the heels of their very first system being installed in Kenya, so you can feel the momentum really starting to build. Now, the scale of this deal is pretty significant right from the get-go. The initial transaction, just to get the system deployed and set up, is valued at up to $4.25 million. That's for the hardware, the setup, all the initial monitoring. But check this out. This is the number that shows you the incredible long-term potential. Once it's running at full steam, a single one of these facilities can generate up to $24 million in recurring revenue every single year. That's a massive, sustainable business model built entirely on local production. And I love this quote from Nate Carpenter, their VP of Sales. He just nails it. The first system in Kenya, that proved the concept. The second order, this proves the model. It's total validation that what they're doing works and that people really, really want it. So we've talked tech, we've talked about the business deal, but what does one of these facilities actually do for the local community? I mean, what's the real impact? When you start looking at the numbers, it is just staggering. Get this. Every year, a single EasyFEN facility can crank out up to 2.7 million gallons of that Terreplenish fertilizer we were just talking about. That is a mind-boggling amount of agricultural input, all made right there, locally. So what does 2.7 million gallons of fertilizer actually get you?
Well, it's enough to treat 1.35 million acres of farmland. That just gives you a sense of the massive agricultural footprint one of these decentralized units can have.
And it's not just about farming either. There's this incredible climate benefit. Because the system processes organic waste instead of letting it rot in a landfill and create methane, each facility has a climate impact that's the same as taking 30,000 cars off the road every year. Okay, but let's bring it down from the big numbers. What does this actually mean for an individual farmer on the ground? Well, it means they get a product that delivers the nitrogen and phosphorus their crops desperately need. It means their soil holds water better, so they can cut back on irrigation by up to 20%. And most importantly, it brings the soil back to life, restoring its microbial health to make it more productive for years to come. So when you step back and you put all of these pieces together, the technology, the business model, the real-world impact, you start to realize this is about way more than just a new kind of fertilizer. This is about building an entirely new foundation for the future. And as the founder, Mark Galswick, says right here, the vision is huge. We're not just talking about one or two facilities. The ultimate goal is to scale this model across the entire continent, giving region after region the tools they need for their own self-sufficiency. But I think this final thought from Bakri Osman, the director of Africa Operations, just sums it all up perfectly. He says it all. Real food security starts when a nation can feed its own soil. This technology puts that power back into local hands. It's not just another product you have to buy from someone else. It's a new foundation for true agricultural independence. And that's really the question I want to leave you with. This whole incredible model is built on one simple but really profound shift in how we think. Seeing local waste not as a problem you have to get rid of, but as the raw material for prosperity, the beginning of a local solution. Just think, what other massive problems could we solve if we just started looking at them that way?